As the past few weeks have so painfully reminded us, happy endings are extremely rare in the world of Love After Lockup. The death of Tracie Wagaman underscored the extent to which many of the show's stars are grappling with issues of life and death's severity. Shortly after Tracie passed, Season 1 star Alla Subbotina also died of an overdose, once again reminding fans of how common addiction is in marginalized communities, such as the ones featured on Lale. With a number of sad stories emerging from the controversial TV series in recent weeks, it's a nice change of pace to bring Lale viewers some good news for a change. Obviously, divorce, infidelity, imprisonment, and an ugly custody battle are not usually the foundations for a fortuitous turn of events. But for Rachel and Dub Jr. Akadugi, who starred in the show's most recent season, those are the unpleasant beginnings from which their happy ending emerged. If you watch the season, then you know that Dub Sr. was a walking red flag from the start. Controlling, short-tempered, and apparently unconcerned about the prospect of returning to prison, Doug seemed destined to squander his third chance. Sure enough, like a desperado in some cheesy western, Doug seems to have fallen in with a group of bandits after absconding from his parole. And according to Starcasm, Doug has now been arrested and charged with 8 felonies. So where's that happy ending we promised you? Well, it appears that Dub Jr. and Rachel dodged a bullet together in the best way possible. We've known for a while now that Rachel filed for divorce the same week that Dub was arrested. Now, the divorce has been finalized, and Rachel has been granted full custody of Doogie. She shared the news with fans by posting the photo below earlier this week. When a relationship ends between two people, it never ends with a child. Great things came out of my mistakes, Cher wrote, adding the hashtags 1C step-parent tal 1 step-parent, life goes in, and live had learned. For most of his father's time in prison, Doogie was lived under the custody of Dub Sr. as sister, but if you remember the disastrous family reunion that was captured by Lale cameras, then you know this new arrangement for the best. The news of Doogie's emancipation was first reported by the Real Idea Squad YouTube channel. Rachel now has custody of little Doogie, the channel's host reported. It is a court-appointed custody agreement. The court's decision comes on the heels of a very unusual living arrangement in which Doogie was living with Doug, his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's husband. Doogie was living with Doug and this new woman, Brittany, and actually her whole family, the Real Idea Squad reported. I was told, and this was a source close to Rachel, that Doug actually moved him and Doogie in with Brittany and her husband and their kids. The host continued, when we heard that Brittany was married, I had just assumed that they were still legally married, but probably they were separated or just hadn't filed papers or something along those lines. But it turns out that this woman is very much married and very much in a relationship with her legal husband, also having an affair with Dub, moved him in, and then was continuing to go on other dates. And it seems that Rachel was able to obtain legal custody of Doogie following an incident in which the freaking swap team was called, and to that very full house. There has been a lot of speculation online if Rachel has legal custody of Doogie or if this is more of an informal custody agreement. So, I reached out and I was informed that Rachel was called by a caseworker when SWAT arrived, Real Idea reported. So about a week or 2 weeks ago, when that raid happened, and it was all over the news, and all over social, that is when Rachel was contacted to come get Doogie if she would be interested, and of course she was interested. Well, Dub Sr. doesn't done much good for anyone in his life. But at least he had the decency to have the SWAT team called on him at the perfect time.